Good evening, everyone. Thank you for listening to my capstone presentation of a systematic review of the use of YouTube in public health research. This is a summary describing how public health researchers are using YouTube as a tool and what implications this use may have for study design and ethical considerations. YouTube is a public health resource as demonstrated by the number of users that consult the internet for self-diagnostic information and the sheer number of adults in the US that use YouTube every year. We identified two previous systematic reviews on YouTube health research, but neither focused on public health outcomes and neither included information on approaches to research ethics. The specific aims of this research are to describe the research landscape, describe and evaluate research methods and outcomes, and to describe and evaluate ethical considerations. This systematic review followed PRISMA guidelines, and the protocol was registered on the Prospero site. We searched 4 databases using one compound search term on 2 dates, which resulted in 5,115 studies after duplicate removal. These abstracts were screened for the inclusion and exclusion criteria listed here, resulting in 76 articles on YouTube and public health after addition of articles from references. We extracted data for the items listed here around study design, outcomes, and ethics, and also assessed each study on a 6-point quality scale. Finally, the number of published articles per year was compared against the impact factor of the journal in which they are published in the year in which they are published, as we see on the next slide. In general, we saw a decrease in the impact factor from 2007 to 2015. In 2015, there was a drastic increase in publications, which has stayed fairly consistent. The impact factor has remained below 3, but has slowly been increasing. This is the main table from the paper that has all methods and outcomes data compared across the main outcomes studied. The 4 main outcome types were descriptive, where the researchers used content analysis to describe themes, public opinion or attitudes, which looked at the tone of the videos or comments in relation to the public health topic, utility and quality of videos, usually assessed by a standardized scale, and an other category for the few videos that explored a different measure. The top 3 public health outcomes of focus in these reviews were infectious diseases like HPV and Zika, chronic diseases other than cancer, and substance use mostly related to tobacco consumption and cessation. Regarding sampling, half of the studies used some measure of popularity followed by relevance, and then taking all videos found to include in the research. Among descriptive studies, popularity was most widely used to select the sample of videos, while among utility or quality studies and public opinion or attitude studies, sampling by relevance was most prevalent. Only 28.9% of studies included some form of external validation of the desired outcome measure, with quality, utility, and other including validation in half or more studies. Almost all studies included some measure of popularity, such as views or likes. And about 2/3 of studies reported information on the source of the video, usually distinguishing between professional sources and videos uploaded by the individual users. Almost all articles fell into the high and medium quality range, with source of external validity as the most missed metric. Besides the other category, descriptive studies had the largest proportion of high quality scores. Finally, the median Cohen's kappa comparing raters' assessments of the video content for all studies was 0.93, with a range of 0.47 to 1.0. This table shows results from the ethical data fields we extracted, compared by whether the study included data that could lead to the identification of users or commenters. Less than 1/3 of studies sought IRB approval, and only 2 received express approval, with all of the others that sought approval falling into the exempt category. 1 study sought informed consent by emailing content creators or posting a comment on the video and offering an opt-out option. We found a large number of studies of YouTube videos with public health content, but little variation in study design. Most compared accuracy or quality of content, but none sought to see how effective the videos were from a viewer or user perspective. Few articles discussed the ethical implications of the research, and those that did were mainly considered exempt from IRB review. The quality of the articles was generally high, but validation of the outcomes was not common. Because of the quantity of articles with very similar study designs, we recommend that no more studies of this nature are warranted, and that researchers should aim to design studies that actually measure impact on the public by engaging the public itself. This feature was markedly absent from any study we were able to find. This presentation is based on research by myself and these contributors with Diana Romero and Heidi Jones as principal investigators. I look forward to answering any questions you may have in the comments. Thank you.